Mm. Wow. You can really taste the beautiful spices in this cookie. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Time for Keto. Less than a week before Christmas, and I want to get out another Christmas recipe. And today, I thought I'd show you how simple this gingerbread cookie recipe is. And guess what? Only 1 gram of net carbs per cookie. Really simple and easy, and anyone can do it. So stick around, and I'm going to show you how easy this recipe is. The ingredients that we will be using today is 200 grams of almond flour, or 2 cups, 100 grams of brown sugar, 1/4 of a cup of unsalted butter, and it should be softened, 1 large egg, and this egg is 70 grams, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. We also need 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And the spices that we will be using for this recipe is 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of ginger, 1/2 teaspoon of ground cloves, 1/2 teaspoon of allspice, and 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg. We will also need some cookie cutters. As you can see, it doesn't just have to be the gingerbread man. You can have other shapes if you have it. As you know, I like to combine all the dry ingredients together first. So let's start with that. Let's add our 2 cups of almond flour, our brown sugar, our baking powder, and lastly, all of those beautiful spices. And we'll just blend all of that together. Only you could smell this. Okay, that looks great. Now we're going to get on with the wet ingredients. Now for the wet ingredients. Let's add our butter, and it should be softened. We have our egg, and we have, and I'm using a measuring spoon for the first time, we have 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Let's add that, and let's blend and whisk this all together until well combined. This has blended very well, and we have one more step to this dough, is we need to use our hands and form this into a ball, and then we need to put it in the fridge for 45 minutes and let it chill. Okay, this looks great. So now what we need is some Glad wrap. Let's get our dough in the Glad wrap. And let's just wrap that dough. And there you have it. It's ready now to go into the fridge for 45 minutes to chill. So why don't we do that? There you have the bowl. I will bring you back when that 45 minutes is up, and we will start with the next process, which is the fun bit, cutting these little gingerbread cookies. Normally we preheat the oven in the recipes that I show you, but in this case, because we need to chill the dough for like 45 minutes, you might as well preheat the oven just before you take the dough out. I recommend around 15 minutes before the dough comes out of the fridge, and you need to preheat it to 180 degrees Celsius or 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and we will be baking these cookies for around 10 to 12 minutes, depending on your oven, of course. It's time to grab that dough from the fridge. It has been 45 minutes, so let's go and do that. And I can say that it is nice and firm, so we're going to start with the rolling of the dough process. Well, here we have some baking paper, or as the Americans say, parchment paper. And here's my dough, and I have to say, I'll say this now, it's not round, but it doesn't really matter as long as it's been chilling in the fridge. That's the main thing. So we're just going to take that out of the plastic, and we are going to put this dough on the baking paper, and then we're going to place another bit of baking paper on top so we don't have to dirty our countertop, I guess. And we're going to roll this in 1 centimeter thickness. So let's get to it. Okay, I believe this is ready. So let's take this baking paper off. We have our lined cookie tray sitting here, and we have our little cookie cutters. So let's start with our gingerbread man. Now I just have to be really gentle and take and then put him on the baking tray. And we'll continue doing that. Once you have these little pieces of dough sitting here, you roll it up again, do the whole parchment paper and use the rolling pin and start with the process again. So let's continue on with this. Well, I think these look pretty good. What do you think? Just trying to count how many we have here. I should have done that before. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17 little gingerbread cookies out of that dough. So it is time to get these in the oven. As you know, my oven was preheated maybe 20 minutes, 15 minutes before taking the dough out of the fridge. So let's get these in the oven and let's bake them for 10 minutes. Check and see how they're going. The crispier you want them, the longer you bake them for, but just don't burn them. So let's get these in the oven. To make the icing, all I used was a half a cup of the powdered stevia sugar, as well as 1 tablespoon of water. Combined it and put it in a little container so I can decorate the gingerbread cookies. Well, I'm back, and what I did was I let the cookies bake for 10 minutes. That's all that it needed. And the way I knew that it was ready was the edges of the cookies were slightly browner than the rest of the cookies. I let them cool down on a baking tray for another 10 minutes. They cool down very quickly because they're very thin. And now we are going to do the last step, which is the fun part, which is coloring in these little cookies and making them look as festive as we can. So let's get on with that process. Here is my icing sugar. with the water. And all I'm going to do is simply decorate these to the best I can. You can do whatever you like. You can add whatever you like. You can put color to these cookies, like sprinkles, keto sprinkles, whatever you want. But for me, very simple, and this is what I'm going to do. So let's just get started with, let's just do a gingerbread man, I guess. A little eye. Oops. Well, one eye is bigger than the other. Okay, well, let me just fix that other eye. All right, so here's my, I'm not very artistic, but here's my little gingerbread man. Okay, so we can carry on and just do other coloring in. So here I go. Well, I've managed to do all of my gingerbread cookies, and I think they look pretty good. So now is, what do I normally do at the end? Is the taste test. So let's try one of these gingerbread cookies, and I'll let you know what I think. Heart-shaped gingerbread cookie. So let's try this. Wow. You can really taste the beautiful spices in this cookie. I taste the nutmeg straight away, and the allspice, the ginger. There's definitely some cinnamon in there. And the texture of this cookie is fantastic. I think I baked it for 10 minutes. If you wanted to bake it slightly longer, maybe on a lower temperature, maybe another 2 minutes, or leave it in the oven for like 2 or 3 minutes, like switch the oven off. They'll get a little bit harder, and they make amazing dunking cookies. But this is great. I just love the gingerbread flavors. And this is so festive. It was so easy to make. And you can make a huge batch of these and give them away as gifts, like put them in a really sweet tin or saran wrap, paper with a bow. And what a great Christmas idea for friends and family. Simple, really low cost, and very, very low in carbs as well. So let me just try this again. That's really good. You're going to have to try this. You know you're going to have to try it. You saw how simple this recipe was. And if I can do it, you can do it. So thank you very much for joining me on another Christmas video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please like and subscribe. That would just mean the world to me. And it really does help the channel, and it just helps me continue moving on and doing such recipes and so on. I may consider starting to move on to the types of foods I eat during the day, so you can see what sort of meals I have that are keto, that keep me on track. But really my issue is my sweet tooth. So I will definitely continue on with my desserts because I just love sugar and I love desserts. And I'm going to continue eating this because this is really yummy. Thanks again. Have a lovely day, and I will see you again soon. Bye.